I was 4 years old and a clown came to my kindergarten class and I was terrified. I scurried under a table and stayed there until he left. And my 4-year-old logic was, if I'm one of them, they can't get me. So I'm basically like the Batman of clowns. My name is David Torres-Fuentes. I'm 23 years old. My wife, Jacquelyn, and I earn about $43,000 a year, and we live in Nashville, Tennessee. We run an entertainment company called Abrakadabra Events. We do balloon twisting, face painting, magic and science shows, foam and bubble parties. Anything that brings fun to a party, we can provide. I also have a few other jobs. I'm a puppeteer at the downtown library here in Nashville, and I've got a coffee shop job just to round out the week.
Hey, get away from me. Get off my lawn.
At 4 years old, I told my mom I wanted to be a clown, and she said, "You be the best clown you can be." Both my parents have been incredibly supportive with my endeavors. As I grew up, I started falling in love with the art form that it is. I started learning more about what clowns do and the purpose of why people are clowns. Bringing joy to the faces of kids of all ages is really, really wonderful. And I decided that's what I wanted to do with my life. Was here and there. It was nothing consistent. My first gig was a magic show and I asked for $50, I think. And that was a lot for me. But after that, growing, learning more about what other people were charging and seeing that, oh, they're not just paying me for the hour, for the 30 minutes. They're paying me for everything that comes before that, all of the prep that I had to do, all of the knowledge that I have. So all of that just kind of prompted me to raise my prices to something that I am worth and that people see that I'm worth and they will pay it. Jacquelyn and I budget with a few different techniques. One is our financial person. They help us do that. But also we've got some apps like Mint that help us really see a visual breakdown of what our money looks like and what it needs to go to. So sometimes we go, oh, last month was a little high on eating out. Let's cut that back a little. Eventually, we want to start a 401k for Abrakadabra Events in the near future, but it's not quite there yet. We're still working on growing the business up to a point where we can do that. I adore cooking. I don't like the cleanup, but I love cooking. We'll eat out every so often. We try to keep it in moderation. Sometimes when I'm headed to a gig, I didn't have time to cook or whatever, I'll stop by and grab something. But ideally, we keep it down to a minimum and cook the rest of the month. We had been in a 1-bedroom, both of us and 3 cats. And so it was very important to us to have extra space. My wife and I can live comfortably in Nashville with our salary, mainly because we have a large support system here in town and people help us. Sometimes we reach into the savings and grab a little bit just to cover what is needed, and then when we have a better month, we put it back. I like to splurge on entertainment, theater specifically. The theater is a big part of my recharging time. I go to the theater maybe twice, 3 times a month, depending on what's in town. A few of our financial goals is to have a bigger savings cushion. And also a big goal of ours is to own a house. As an immigrant, generational wealth is really important to us. When my family and I moved here, it was 4 of us and we had 2 suitcases. You know, we essentially had nothing. And my parents really taught me the worth of a dollar, and that's what I hope to do with our future generations. I figured that Instead of getting all of my gigs through an agent that takes a percentage of the top, if we had our own company, we could advertise ourselves as the company. It gives us a little more credibility than just the single balloon person or the single magician. We work off of a 50, 25, 25 system. 50% goes to us, our income. 25% goes right to taxes and some of the personal investment. The other 25% goes right back into the business to operating costs. The majority of our income comes from our business, Abrakadabra Events, and my wife's barber services. And my wife, she does the face painting, she does clowning as well with me, and she'll come with me to shows and do the bubble parties and the foam parties with me as well. Clowning and entertainment in general can be a year-round business, but often it is not. For Abrakadabra Events, our busy period is probably April to December. After the holiday season, people are overspent, and January and February are pretty tight for us. I'll do a puppet show here and there, maybe 2 or 3 a week. Sometimes they really need me that week, and I'll do 5, 6, 8. He is the anchor. He'll come up, he'll tell you the story of whatever the next story is gonna be, and then he'll disappear. I feel content with the amount of money I make now, but I think we can do better, and that is what we are working towards. I don't think Nashville is in our cards forever. I think we'll definitely move around. Jacquelyn and I would like to move overseas, possibly Scotland. It's something that we've wanted for a long time. When I think about retirement, I hope I can still be clowning and I can still be performing and bringing happiness. We like to say we bring whimsy and wonder to people, and that is probably the closest thing you can get to real magic.